Hey guys, welcome back to Bowls with the Bard. My name is Cakes, I am your host. This week we are bringing you another episode of Stoned Shakespeare. We're combining two different questions that we received, one which is a question of my own, and the second of which came from Jackie Medeski, who is my roommate and who will also be a guest on the show very soon. The first question, my question, is which of Shakespeare's plays is most marketable around Christmas time? The second question, Jackie's question, is which of Shakespeare's plays benefits the most from being set at Christmas time? So I decided to combine these two questions and answer them as one. I think the obvious answer to this question is Twelfth Night, but we are based in Washington, D.C., and the Shakespeare Theater Company out here just did a Christmas version of Twelfth Night. So in order to avoid stealing ideas from a production I just saw, I am going to go with a different play. And I'm very excited to talk about this play because it is my favorite. So welcome to Stoned Shakespeare. ChristmAs, you like it? Alright, let's smoke. This time around I'm going to skip a plot summary. There are a lot of characters and there are a lot of things that happen in this plot, so for time's sake I'm just going to skip it. If you need help, to the internet. So my first question was, which of Shakespeare's plays is most marketable as a Christmas play? The number one reason I think As You Like It lends itself as a Christmas play is that it's an actual Shakespearean comedy that's joyful. There are some Shakespearean comedies that you're like, Shakespeare, is that a comedy? Is it? Is it? But this one, definitely. Definitely. I think it's a melancholic comedy, which we'll get to, but it is a comedy nonetheless. There is a lot of joy in this show. There are two brilliant instances of Shakespeare's version of love at first sight. You get Rosalind and Orlando falling in love at first sight, and it's cheesy. He can't find the words to talk to her. It's adorable, it's wonderful, and it's what you imagine love at first sight to be. And then you get the same thing happening with Celia and Oliver at the end. And all of that ends up culminating in 4 marriages. And true, 2 of those 4 marriages you could probably argue are not the best marriages, but still, it ends with like a joyful festival. The rightful Duke is restored to his throne. Everything ends happily ever after. I think there's a great deal of joy in Rosalind and Celia's bond as cousins, but more like sisters. I can relate to this. I have 2 cousins at home who are like sisters. Shout out to Maddie and Annie, I love you guys. Yeah, I think that they have a beautiful bond. I think there's something incredible about the fact that Celia is willing to give up her life of comfort and to say goodbye to her own father to follow Rosalind into the forest, and she stays by her side no matter what. And I think there's something really joyful and wonderful about that. And then another incredibly joyful scene is the scene where you get Rosalind and Orlando and Silvius and Phoebe all talking about their love for one another, and they're like, Shakespeare's like weaving lines, so I can't remember the exact order, but it's like, an eye for Rosalind, an eye for Phoebe, an eye for Silvius, an eye for no man, you know? It doesn't go exactly like that. But if it's played the right way, it ends up as a hysterical scene. And more than anything, what do you want to be giving to the people around the holidays for a show? You want it to be joyous, you want them to walk out happy, and I think this show lends itself well to that. I think another reason that this show is incredibly marketable as a Christmas show is that it is set in the Forest of Arden. And today, who knows what the Forest of Arden is? Who knows what it means? So why not make the Forest of Arden a forest of Christmas trees? And then you have beautiful postcards of your cast in front of your set, ready to send out for everybody, and everybody's gonna come to your show because it looks like a Christmas Shakespeare show, and it's a Shakespearean comedy, so they know they're gonna leave laughing. So that is why I think that As You Like It is the most marketable play as a Christmas play. So now we're gonna get to Jackie's question. Which of Shakespeare's plays lends itself best to being a Shakespeare play, or like, what does it gain from being a Christmas play? My first answer for that is that As You Like It is one of Shakespeare's most musical plays. And so if you find yourself the right composer to write music underneath these songs, it's not too hard to have all of the songs mirror Christmas carols or Christmas hymns. And in that, you can find the right songs to have the Christmas joy, or in that you can find places to have Christmas longing, like songs like I'll Be Home for Christmas have melodies that are reminiscent of those songs. So I think the play gains something by adding that element, and I also think the play lends itself well to Christmas by having that musical element in the first place. The second reason I think As You Like It lends itself well to being a play that is set at Christmas time is that it is a melancholic comedy. As we discussed before, there is a lot of joy in the play. However, there are a lot of characters and a lot of moments that are sad and sullen. You get characters like Jaques, who delivers the All the World's a Stage monologue, who gets described over and over and over as melancholic. You also have characters like Touchstone, who Touchstone is a fool, but Touchstone isn't a fool like Stefano or Malvolio. Touchstone is more, he's a witty fool. He is trying to make you think instead of trying to make you laugh, and sometimes what he has to say can be depressing. So I think a brilliant way to add to the melancholy and at some points the joy of this play is to have it snowing in every scene in the Forest of Arden. When an audience first sees something like snow falling on a stage, it's really exciting. But if it happens the whole play, it gets old really fast. But I think that's useful in this situation because it's similar to real life. Recently, I was walking dogs in the snow. I'm from Utah, and I love the snow. But as I got from dog 1 to dog 7, I started to sink. And I realized that snow is really great when you get to choose to have 20 minutes to go play in it, or an hour to go play in it. But when you're stuck in the snow for 6 hours and you can't leave, the snow is not your friend. So for these people, some of whom have been banished to this forest, some of whom have chosen to come into it, they're in this forest for days, and it's snowing the whole time. That's depressing, no matter what's going on around you. So I think that adding an element of having it snow the whole show really lends to the melancholy that there is in As You Like It. So now that I have successfully taken us from joy to melancholy, which for some might describe the holidays, I want to wrap it up and say this is why I think As You Like It is a great play for the Christmas season. And with that, I want to wish you all very happy, happy holidays. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like us on Facebook at Bowls with the Bard, subscribe to us on YouTube at Bowls with the Bard, and follow us on Instagram at Stoned Shakespeare. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you guys ever have a question for a Stoned Shakespeare episode, please send them my way at bowlswiththebard@gmail.com. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, lay me where sad true lover never find my grave to weep there.